Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is once again happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we get set for some late season girls soccer action on the Milford soccer field, as the Lady Hawks get set to take on their division rival, the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. And again, we are very late in the regular season now. We unfortunately have not had a chance to check in with the girls team since much earlier on in the season. We last covered the girls in a match against Stoughton all the way back on September the 20th. That was a big 2-0 victory for the girls, but a lot has transpired since then, including the game here this afternoon. Just 3 games remain in the regular season for the Lady Hawks, and they are in a precarious situation as they enter into these final days of the season. They come into today's matchup with an overall record of 5-7-3. They are 4-7-3 within league play, and they will need a total of 5 points over the course of these last 3 games in order to earn a spot in the MIAA tournament. And so that will essentially require the team to come away with at least 2 victories and 1 tie if they are hoping to enter into the postseason for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. This has been a bit of a tradition for Milford in recent seasons, sneaking into the playoffs in the final days, having to work hard in the second half of the season to earn their spot. Milford trying to overcome a bit of a sluggish beginning of the year. They have been playing much better of late, but a very big test on tap here this afternoon. As you can see, the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers now out there on the field getting set for this opening kickoff. And just like that, soccer action now underway on this 25th of October. And we'd like to welcome in everyone who is joining us via our live stream feed. Once again, an opportunity to bring you live internet streaming coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Whether you're viewing our educational channel feed over on milfordtv.net or you have the live stream app on your mobile device, you can check us out there by searching for the Milford TV educational feed. So if you are joining us live, welcome. Happy to have you aboard for an important divisional matchup, Milford and North Attleboro. These 2 teams now playing each other twice a season, as North Attleboro is now a resident of the Davenport division. And North Attleboro has been having a very strong year on the field. They come in first place in the Davenport standings, 10-3-2 overall, 9-3-2 overall within Hockomock League play. So a very strong season once again. This is traditionally a very powerful girls soccer program each and every season in North Attleboro, and despite the change in division standings this year, moving from the Kelly Rex to the Davenport, they have maintained that high level of play. They have had a bit of coaching turnover this season, as now this ball comes back deep into the Milford defensive side, but swatted away. And now will be booted down the near sideline. Milford will look to attack from right to left across your screens here in the first half. Milford, as usual, under the watchful eye of their head coach, Jay Mastay. And North Attleboro right now under the direction of interim head coach Bill Wallace. As I mentioned, a bit of coaching controversy earlier in this season for North Attleboro. Their entire coaching staff resigning at the beginning of the month of October amid a practice situation that did not sit well with the parents surrounding the North Attleboro team. Not a lot of details surrounding that situation, but the coaching staff resigning earlier this season, so an interim staff on board right now. But the team on the field has maintained focus very well. As I've mentioned, 10 wins overall on the season, and headed to the MIAA tournament once again. They will operate out of the Division I South, as will Milford should they get there. And right now, North Attleboro carrying play within their attacking side, as that ball now is scooped up by the netminder for Milford, Olivia Marshall. And Milford trying to break out of their defensive side of the field. Hard contact from Maggie Boyle. The defense trying to shoot this ball back out to midfield. Gaining possession here now, Julia France sending it downfield for Kristen Franzini, who looks to shake a defender. Now a good leading pass ahead for Gabby Riley, and the goalkeeper for North Attleboro coming out to make the stop. Good speed for Franzini, getting that play started. A good feed up to Gabby Riley. Those two have been hot of late. Riley, along with Franzini and Juliana France, have served as the driving force for this offense throughout the majority of the season. North Attleboro now a couple of headers to send this ball deep back down on their attacking side. Still within the opening 5 minutes of this first half action. Kristen Franzini is your leading goal scorer on the Lady Hawks, as now she shoots this ball ahead again, looking for Riley. Franzini 7 goals and 9 assists on the season. Juliana France, the freshman, 6 goals on 7 assists. Those are your scoring leaders. And as you can no doubt see, a stiff breeze right now blowing from left to right. As now this ball gets shot past the goalie and in, and just like that, North Attleboro is able to get off to a strong start. Just a quick play up ahead. Marshall came out to try to defend. I believe that was Ashlyn Gallin who was able to score that one early for the Lady Rocketeers. So immediately Milford will have to play from behind. Still plenty of time left in this first half. 34-25 on the game clock. As play surrounds the center circle. This is a North Attleboro team that has been scoring goals at a very impressive clip this season. 45 total goals scored coming into this match today, so you can now make it 46 overall on the season as this one gets sent back in deep. This time Marshall is able to get ahead of it and make the stop. Sends a soft kick out towards the 30-yard line on the football markings, and North Attleboro immediately resumes control. So 46 goals now on the season, which by far leads the Davenport division. The next closest scoring teams are actually both Foxborough and Sharon, tied with 38 goals scored on the season. Milford coming into today's matchup with 24 goals scored through 14 games. Ashley Starks now trying to get Milford started, sending this one deep down toward the far sideline, but there is the defense for North Attleboro to push it back to midfield. Gabby Riley also over in the vicinity. And another deep kick. And again, Marshall is able to scoop it. We had what seemed like one last hurrah for summer weather last week in the Milford area. Temperatures up around 70 degrees and a couple of times touching 80 last week, but we have gotten a full dose of fall here now, of course, getting deep into the month of October. Temperatures are not expected to get out of the 40s over the next couple of days, and with that stiff breeze out there making conditions pretty chilly down at field level. You can see the flags at both ends of the field fully extended with that sharp wind blowing again from left to right across the field. Another kick shanked short by Marshall. Milford able to get to this one. Franzini now trying for the steal. And now up the near sideline, Franzini can't get there before the ball pops out of play. North with the toss back in. Still within the opening 10 minutes. We will look to get confirmation a little bit later on from the scorers table to verify the goal scorer for North Attleboro, but if it was indeed Ashlyn Gollin, it would make her 10th goal on the season. Ashlyn Gollin along with Haley Gurdon, the main offensive threats for North Attleboro. Haley Gurdon with 12 goals and 11 assists on the season. Milford now with possession as they toss in just beyond midfield. France fighting for position. She frees herself up now in the near corner, trying to hit Franzini. The ball pops loose, and the long distance shot from France just ends up bending too far to the left. Sent downfield by Rachel Labonte on the goal kick. And that hard shot deflects off of a North Attleboro player and right back to France. Now trying to hit Starks. Starks with the centering pass. Intercepted by North Attleboro, headed back into the corner, and Starks lets it go out. She'll hand things off to Madeline Boyle, who will toss it in deep in Milford's attacking side. Milford trailing 1-0 after an early goal scored by the Lady Rocketeers. This ball deflects right to the edge of the field of play. Nice effort out of Sienna Pierce. Initially keeping that ball in play. It deflects out off of North Attleboro, so it keeps Milford in possession for now. .58:54 on the game clock now. Milford with this matchup here today against North Attleboro. Then they will travel on the road to take on Sharon on October 27th before returning to their home field one final time in the regular season on Halloween to take on a non-conference opponent in Holliston. And again, out of these last 3 games, Milford needs at least 2 wins and 1 tie. And already trailing this game early, so feeling a sense of urgency right out of the gate as this ball is stolen. Taken up by Ashlyn Gurdon again, Gollin again. The ball eventually handled by the keeper. Good footwork from Juliana France, who has shown considerable growth in a very short period of time. One of the 6 Milford freshmen to make this varsity squad this season. That was a major talking point with Coach Maste when I spoke to him about the team before the season started, that this was going to be a very young team, but he already saw the potential in those underclassmen. And Juliana France certainly living up to that potential. As we mentioned, 6 goals and 7 assists so far in her freshman campaign. A good pass up ahead, this time to Riley. Has some space and sends it off the right side of the net. Gabby Riley's had a couple of decent looks early. Gabby Riley did have a goal in Milford's most recent game. That came back on October 21st. A game here at home against Foxborough as this ball is sent in deep by Maggie Boyle, but just to the left of the net and out of play. So Milford starting to put something together offensively here after letting up the early goal. Back to that game on October 21st, Milford ultimately losing to Foxborough 4-2. It broke a nice 2-game winning streak for the Hawks. Kristen Franzini and Gabby Riley scoring in that defeat. Prior to that, Milford scoring 6 goals in back-to-back games, a 6-0 win over Canton, as now Kristen Franzini gets the ball on her foot. And the double team arrives in defense. Ball now all the way down to the near corner. And they're going to say that ball was out. It appeared that France had kept it in, but the officials not agreeing. Milford with a 6-3 victory over Canton back on the 19th and a 6-0 win at Stoughton back on October 17th. So the offense really coming to life in these later stages of the season. It just feels like once the calendar flips to October, that's when these Lady Hawks soccer teams really start to thrive. .54:51 on the game clock now as we travel deeper into first half action with North Attleboro in front by a 1-0 margin. The ball loose at midfield where it's gathered in by Mackenzie Rosenberg for the Rocketeers. Now played ahead looking for Haley Girton. And it looks like the officials have stopped the clock. I believe they said that Emily Chasen has a wound that needs to be attended to, if I was hearing correctly from the field. So she'll get bandaged up before she heads back out onto the field in good spirits as she has a smile on her face going to the sideline. North Attleboro will send Lauren Dowd onto the field to replace Jason for now. And meanwhile, Milford will toss it in as the clock resumes with just over 24 minutes to go in the first half. Girton now trying to force the ball forward. Couple of defenders right in front, and Milford will play it out of bounds beyond the far sideline. Milford now nearly intercepting that toss in. Franzini giving chase at midfield, and that one just underneath the foot of Juliana France. She was looking to pick off that pass and send it immediately ahead to her teammate Kristen Franzini, but the timing just a hair off. If you want to get a sense of just how cold the temperatures are down at field level, you need just look at the 2 benches in which players are huddled up in sweatshirts and blankets trying to stay warm. Clock ticking down now to an even 23 minutes left in the first half. North Attleboro getting their goal about 6 minutes into this first half. They were able to have a nice opening burst, enjoying a lot of time on their offensive side. Milford has responded since then. A nice steal by Juliana France. Now a give and go with Maggie Boyle, and there is the shot and the score. And just like that, we're tied up at 1. Great quick move up the field. Back and forth they went. Boyle open for the shot, and she buries it. Maggie Boyle, the junior. And so tied up now at a goal apiece as we approach the midway point in this first half action. And despite the fact that North Attleboro has been one of the top teams in the division standings, regardless of what division they've been operating out of over recent years, Milford has played them tough. When these two teams have gotten together, we look at the matchup earlier this season. Milford ended up playing North Attleboro to a 1-1 tie. And at that point, North Attleboro came into that matchup at 6-1. You look at a lot of their goal-scoring totals to that point in the season, a lot of games with final goal totals of 3 or more. They were fresh off of a 7-1 victory over Stoughton prior to that first matchup against the Lady Hawks. But again, Milford playing them to a 1-1 draw. When these two teams met last season in a Hockomock League crossover matchup, the game ended in a scoreless tie. So despite North Attleboro coming in with a lot of offensive firepower in recent meetings, this Milford defense has done a good job keeping them in check and hoping to do that now after Maggie Boyle has tied this game up 1-1, ticking down to 20 minutes to play. Ashley Starks sending that pass to Sienna Pierce, but it ends up out of play. It allows both sides to make substitutions. The toss in by North Attleboro is initially met by Christina Chicarelli. And Chicarelli now sending that one intentionally out of play. But that will lead to our first corner kick of the match. Coming in from the far side with that wind just absolutely whipping right now. A high looping kick. Touches down right in front of the goal mouth, but ends up spraying out towards the near side, initially tracked down by Emily Scrom. The ball goes out of play. Scrom will now toss it right back in. North Attleboro trying to reestablish their lead, but this ball ends up back beyond the goal line before it's wrapped up by Olivia Marshall. And Nicole Dahlgren now will send the goal kick out. You can see that wind not kind to these goal kicks. That might have led to the issues that Marshall was having earlier in the half. Right now, just that strong, steady breeze. And these goal kicks for Milford going against that breeze. Ball back in play as Milford tries to send it back out to midfield. They're able to hit Franzini. She's immediately double-teamed. Ashley Starks now back out to midfield. Over onto the Milford attacking side momentarily. Now a good pass ahead to Boyle. Now hitting Leanne Kibbe. She'll take it up through traffic now. Tries to pass it through a heavy group of defenders. Now contact just shy of midfield, the whistle going against Milford. A little over 17 minutes to go. Juliana France getting a rest on the bench, but now stretching it out by the scorer's table, waiting to come back in. Now this ball sent in deep, and the sprawling save made by Marshall. That ball was not on line towards the net, but Marshall not taking any chances. Marshall now surveying her options. Finally lets this one go over in the direction of Sienna Pierce. Another deep kick by the Lady Rocketeers, but again it rolls free all the way to the Milford keeper. Milford having a hard time getting this ball past midfield over these last few possessions. Here's Dahlgren now. Haley Girton with the ball for North Attleboro, now bouncing off towards the far sideline and out. They say last touched by Milford. As a pair of sixes come back out onto the field, Juliana France for Milford. Ain Mendonca for North Attleboro. With 15.5 minutes on the game clock. And another corner kick coming in from the far corner. And through a crowd, Marshall sure-handed, able to gather it on a line. Good play by the Milford keeper. She fires it back out. Kristen Franzini coming up to try to play it, but now here's Haley Girton, the save made by Marshall, and she will hold on to it. Haley Girton wasting no time. She was able to settle that ball and send a quick, accurate shot away. Olivia Marshall able to make the hand stop. She allowed the ball to pop back out briefly, but then was able to fall on top of it. Madeline Boyle checking back into the game now for the Lady Hawks, with the clock winding down to 14 minutes to play in the first half. We are tied at 1. North Attleboro, as we mentioned, with 10 victories overall on the season. It doesn't look as if anyone has, outside of North Attleboro, has completely sewn up a bid to the tournament out of the Davenport division. Canton right now is in second place with a 7-6-1 overall record. Foxborough at 9-7-0 overall, so those teams close based on how many games they have left. As North Attleboro now with another chance, and Ashlyn Gallen losing her footing just before firing that shot away. It made it easy to defend for Olivia Marshall. But Gallen jumps right back into the play before Maggie Boyle, the Milford goal scorer, makes the initial play, sends the ball to Franzini, who receives some hard contact courtesy of Aaron Burren. It's to the kick for the Lady Hawks with 12:45 on the clock. And more heavy contact now, bodies flying to the turf at midfield as North Attleboro sends this ball up the near sidelines before it trickles out of play. After the toss in by Braza, the ball again out of play on the near side as we will come down under 12 minutes on the clock. Sent ahead now by Burren. Maggie Boyle trying to steal it, but it deflects out once again. Another close game between these two teams, something we have seen frequently in those recent matchups, as we mentioned. The only team in all of the Hockomock League who has scored more goals than North Attleboro coming into today's action is Mansfield over in the Kelly Rex division with 52 goals. North Attleboro, including their score in the opening minutes of this game, now at 46 goals scored. They've allowed just 13. Milford trying again to get this ball in play from the near sideline. Certainly seen that the wind has been a factor in various ways for these two teams through the first half. This ball up for grabs deep in Milford's defensive side of the field before it eventually ricochets out. Coming down to 10 minutes now left in this first half. Still a tied game. Emma Gallen tosses it back in for the Lady Rocketeers. Now through a crowd, Dahlgren's able to flip it back out to midfield. Franzini has to go back to get it. And North Attleboro dumps it back in. Ball took a tricky hop on Franzini right at the last minute. Nearly was able to hit it in stride. Milford trying to send this one deep. Franzini now giving chase along with Aaron Byrne of North Attleboro, and North back to midfield again. Now trying to chase this one down is Ashlyn Gallen. Good speed on Gallen. We've seen that all half. North Attleboro ripping this shot away on net, but the save made by Marshall. Just over 8.5 minutes on the game clock as North has been on the offensive here over the last several minutes. We've seen the majority of play here deep on their attacking side. Rachel Labonte with no problem tracking that one in the open field. And up ahead deep. And Gallen nearly again with an open look, but a nice job by Rachel LeBlanc to cut down that angle. Milford 1, North Attleboro 1. Under 8 minutes to play in the first half as we'll have another deep toss in on the North Attleboro side. Short toss looking to hit Ashlyn Gallen. She has been the best offensive weapon for the Lady Rocketeers through this first half. Starks a good pass ahead to Maggie Boyle. Boyle with a couple of defenders on her. And defense for North Attleboro, tough for Milford to penetrate right now. Tough play by Milford, winning that one off of Gollin. Gollin hitting the turf. No whistle from the officials. Now LeBlanc taking some contact. Players flying to the turf all over the place. The officials right now letting the play go. Franzini to the near sideline. That ball out of play. North Attleboro trying to find some room. Good play that time by LeBlanc. And the ball out again on the near sideline. Heading into the late stages now of this first half. And Milford will watch that ball roll out of play. It will be a goal kick for the Lady Hawks. We'll see how Dahlgren plays this one. The goal kicks have been difficult for Milford going against the wind. Bit of a lower line drive kick, but North Attleboro is quickly able to win it. They fire a shot away wide to the left of the net and handled by Marshall. Leanne Kibbe able to keep that one in play. This one rolls ahead and out right at midfield. Good play by Maggie Boyle, but the ball deflects right back to North. They try to send it deep, ricocheting back out now to midfield, ticking down to 4 minutes on the game clock. Now up the far sideline and out of play, last touch by Milford. Will we see a late goal here before we head into the half? Since the goal by Maggie Boyle, which came right around the midway point of this half, North Attleboro has really dominated possession. North has not scored since that goal 6 minutes in that for a time gave the Lady Rocketeers the lead. Milford evening things up at 1 and now under 3 minutes to play. We continue on tied. Now a chance for North here, the centering pass, but a little out in front. And Milford is able to guide it out of play off to the far side. Now Milford with the quick toss. Starks down the far sideline. Franzini looking for the steal. North able to get it back down, but Boyle intercepts. Up the far side, Milford keeps it going. Gabby Riley now fighting for it. And now they will say white ball. North Attleboro setting up for the kick, and now the call changed. So a big opportunity here for Milford. We're under 2 minutes to play. And this one up and over the net. Madeline Boyle on the kick, but delivering it just a bit high. Now Leanne Kibbe winning this one. She shoots it past Franzini. And now Kibbe hits Riley, tries to pop it over the goalkeeper and just over the net. Riley playing that one about as well as she possibly could have, popping it over the extended arms of the keeper, but just high. And Milford with some chances here late in the half, but still tied. Now North looking for a late push. We wait now for the signal from the official with under a minute left in this first half action. Rocketeers set up for the kick, sent downfield. Dahlgren able to get to it, and now Milford shoots it back out. And this will deflect softly to Marshall. She takes it to the edge of the box now, surveys the field. The kick quickly intercepted by Emily Scrom. Here's Haley Girton. She sends the pass back out to Emily Burren. And guided out by Rachel LeBlanc. And that whistle will bring an end to the first half. A flurry of activity in those final minutes. A couple of good opportunities for the Lady Hawks. They just couldn't quite cash in, but still quality play defensively to hold this potent North Attleboro offense in check outside of the goal. 6 minutes in, Milford able to respond. Maggie Boyle scoring the game tire. So we will head into halftime. Milford 1 and North Attleboro 1. We will step aside for halftime, and we'll be back with second half action when we return next. Coverage of Milford High School athletics right here on Milford TV. We welcome you back inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School as we begin second half action in this late season Davenport Division showdown between Milford and North Attleboro. Once again, Tim Coet on the coverage. A 1-1 tie between these two teams as we enter into the second half. Milford will now look to attack from left to right across your screens in the second half. Again, we welcome everyone who is streaming us live right now via the live stream app and also on our live stream feed over at milfordtv.net. A goal apiece for these two teams. Some hard-nosed play late in the first half, each side with a couple of opportunities to take the lead, but we play on tied. So this game taking on a similar complexion to what we've seen in the previous matchups between Milford and North. Again, these two teams played to a 1-1 draw earlier this season in North Attleboro. So once again, Milford looking to frustrate this powerful North Attleboro offense. It was Ashlyn Gollin who was able to strike first for North Attleboro, giving them a 1-0 lead in the first half before Maggie Boyle was able to tie it up. Here's Riley now with the pass ahead to Starks. Starks to Leanne Kibbe. And once again, North Attleboro really a tough wall at midfield. Hard for Milford to get past. Played ahead by Kayla Pasquale before dumped back out to the center circle. Opening 5 minutes of this second half action. Talking to Coach Massey prior to the game, Milford needing 5 points out of these last 3 games to earn a late bid to the MIAA tournament. As this ball is sent on net, in and out of the hands of Marshall, she's able to just hold on. Pasquale streaking in, looking for that rebound chance. So North Attleboro coming out strong in these first few minutes of the second. Up ahead for Milford now, Riley trying to backtrack. Now North dumping it down towards the near corner. In front of the wide open net and in. Olivia Marshall coming far out to the edge of the box to play the ball. It shoots past her. And just like that, North Attleboro is able to reestablish the lead at 2-1. Scoring just 4 minutes into the second half. That ball came from long range. It was tough to see who that came from. We did see Ashlyn Gollin in the area who did score that first half goal for North Attleboro. And getting word from Rob O'Keefe up top, Emma Gollin scoring the second goal. So once again, the Lady Hawks needing to play from behind. Waiting for the toss in from the far sideline. Milford TV Executive Director Rob O'Keefe up on top of the press box, braving the elements as we bring you this coverage of Lady Hawks soccer. Milford trying to respond quickly. That ball rolling free inside the box. North Attleboro able to get the partial clear. Milford has found their offensive groove as the second half of the season has gone on. We mentioned it earlier, the back-to-back 6-goal performances this team enjoyed against Canton and Stoughton. A 2-game winning streak that came to an end back on October 21st with a tough loss here at home to Foxborough. A game that was certainly played in less than ideal weather conditions with all of the rain we dealt with last Friday. Kibbe tosses it in. She hits Franzini. Now back out to Kibbe. Inside the box to Maggie Boyle. But she delivers it high and wide of the net and out of play. Coming up on 8 minutes into the second half as the North Attleboro goal kick drifts out close to midfield. Gathered in by Haley Girton. Tries to boom it downfield. It's met by Madeline Boyle. And her kick sends it out of play. Haley Girton for North Attleboro is the points leader in the Hockomock League coming into action today. She has 23 total points on the season, 12 goals and 11 assists. A well-rounded player for the Rocketeers. Kristen Franzini currently 7th in the Hawk in scoring with 7 goals on 9 assists for a total of 16 points. Juliana France 12th in the Hockomock League with 6 goals and 7 assists. Kibbe trying to find Maggie Boyle through a pair of defenders. Now it's Madeline Boyle, but again that ball drifts out of the far sideline. Taking a look at some of the teams around the Hockomock League that you will see in postseason play. We will get back to that momentarily as Milford is on the move. Here's Juliana France. She sends this one ahead, but nobody home, and the North goalkeeper able to scoop it up. As we have an injury timeout on the field, we will take that injury timeout. 31:25 on the game clock in the second half. More coverage coming up in just moments here on Milford TV. Set to resume action now after the quick injury timeout. It was Ashley Starks who was shaken up on that last play. She was able to get back to her feet relatively quickly and walked under her own power back to the sideline. Now being checked out by athletic trainer Jonathan Raskow. North Attleboro with a goal just 4 minutes into the second half to reestablish a lead. Still plenty of game left to be played, but for Milford fans, you can't help but look back to those final moments of the first half. A couple of good looks for Milford. Unfortunately, the bounce is not going their way. So now Juliana France tries to power her way down that far sideline. Milford lines up the kick, sending it down close to the 20-yard line on the football markings. Now wrangled in by Brianna Braza. Kristen Franzini nearly shaking free. Kibbe tried to save it from going out of play, but it scoots outside the near sideline. Ball rolling loose beyond the far sideline where Milford will toss it back in. Just over 29 minutes still on the game clock. These Milford fans continuing to support their team in this comeback. Many fans here in the stands braving these cool temperatures. You have to think the warmest people at this field right now are the players out on the field in the midst of this tough Davenport contest. North Attleboro knows that they are playoff bound, looking for a strong finish into tournament play. For Milford, trying to scratch and claw their way in here in these last days. By this time next week, the regular season will be over. The final game for Milford comes up on Halloween next Monday here at home against Holliston. North keeping this ball in play. They send it back in deep. Now all the way back to Franzini, who sends a good leading pass ahead to Leanne Kibbe, who gets taken down hard. No whistle on the play. Now it's North on the move. They send the pass with Ashlyn Gollin up ahead, and Nicole Dahlgren ultimately able to guide that ball away to the far corner. Ashlyn Gollin and Emma Gollin have teamed up for the 2 goals for the North Attleboro Rocketeers so far this afternoon. Ashlyn and Emma both sophomores. The corner kick now comes in from the far corner. Juliana France able to head that one down. It ends up beyond the goal line. As now substitutions come in on both sides. The game clock ticking down to 26 minutes to play as we reset for a second consecutive corner kick. Low line drive this time. North will track it down. Good footwork from Leah Jett, but it ends up in the hands of Olivia Marshall. This time with the wind at her back, sends the goal kick out, but again, aggressive play by North Attleboro. Mackenzie Rosenberg able to dump it back in. And a good sight for the Milford fans as Ashley Starks now checks back into the game. Looked like a leg or knee injury that took her off the field a few moments ago, but able to get some attention from Jonathan Raskow. Now right back out onto the field. Of course, you know, in these kind of weather conditions, any contact is not going to feel good. Marshall able to come all the way out of the box to send that ball back downfield. It ends up out of play beyond the far sideline. 24 minutes and 30 seconds on the game clock, with North Attleboro up 2-1. North Attleboro, Oliver Ames, Mansfield, Franklin, and King Philip already know they are into the playoffs out of the Hockomock League. Some impressive play out of the Kelly Rex this season. Oliver Ames 12-0-3, Mansfield 13-0-2, King Philip 11-6-1, Franklin 9-2-3. Some hefty win totals in the large school division. Brianna Braza sending that ball back down deep, but it ends up in the hands of the keeper for the Lady Rocketeers. .22:45 on the second half clock as the ball takes a bounce back onto the Milford attacking side, and taking a tumble was Sienna Pierce. The whistle goes in Milford's favor. They'll set Dahlgren up for the kick. She sends it deep. She's able to hit Franzini. Kristen can't quite settle it down. It goes out of play, but last touch by North. Looking to hit Maggie Boyle with the toss. Now Franzini pops it straight up. Deflected by North Attleboro over towards the near sideline. The Rocketeers able to save it. And now up ahead with it comes Emily Scrum. And finally Rachel LeBlanc able to get there. The North Attleboro coaching staff talking things over with Leah Jett before she sends the toss back in. Milford pops it back down the near sideline for Franzini. Franzini takes some tough contact from Julia Tolfa. We've not had many whistles in this game. The officials perhaps sensing that this is an important late season game, letting some play go. At the midway point now in the second half. Milford forced to play from behind for the second time in this game as Juliana France tries to battle through the double team. And they'll award Milford the kick. Another chance here for Milford, this one coming with 19:45 on the clock. Both teams getting into position. And the kick away right on line and deflected right at the goal mouth. Milford retakes control. Starks pops this ball high in the air. Now tries to play it herself. Now this one gets through LeBlanc, but Nicole Dahlgren will send it the length of the field. Scooped up by the North keeper. As we start to get deeper into the second half, just one goal so far in the second half. It belongs to North Attleboro, and that is the difference in the game right now. Up ahead to Franzini, right in the center circle, sends a good pass ahead to Pierce. Franzini tried to steal the pass ahead, ends up deflecting it out of play. Here's Riley now playing it down the near sideline. Maggie Boyle sends it hard into her teammates on the bench. Huddled together, just trying to stay warm. And that time it's Haley Girton who takes the contact. The kick coming up for the Lady Rocketeers with 17.5 minutes to go. High arcing kick. Rachel LeBlanc able to head it down, but now drifts all the way down into the far corner. Now Dahlgren tries to get the clear. Takes a big bounce, now rolling towards the near sideline. North able to regroup. Emily Scrom now back out close to midfield. Now it's Mendonca on the attack. And again, it's cleared as far as midfield. Fast-moving half. Just over 16.5 minutes to go as Stark sends this one ahead, but right onto the foot of Rachel Labonte of North Attleboro. This is a junior-heavy North Attleboro squad, not a lot of seniors, so this is a core of talented players that will be together still for another year after this one. As North just finds a way, it seems, each and every season to put together a very talented squad. North has made it into the tournament each of the previous 3 seasons as a couple players hit the deck. North advancing all the way to the Division I South semifinals last season, where they lost to Whitman Hanson. Whitman Hanson's actually gotten the best of North Attleboro in the Division I South semis each of the previous 2 seasons. Coming down to 15 minutes as that ball gets sent out of play. The entire field now encased in shadow, so just continuing to bring the temperatures down at field level. These players out there have not let the cold temperatures and the wind bother them. They have been, it's been a lot of tough play on both sides throughout this game. Franzini trying to keep that one in on the near sideline, just in front of the Milford bench. Whistle going against North Attleboro. So again, we see Nicole Dahlgren, the senior captain, lining up for the kick. Dahlgren regarded by her head coach as one of the most talented defensive players in the entire state of Massachusetts. Milford trying to go on the attack here to put the tying goal in, as Franzini gets a hard shoulder. It sends her down to the turf. And no whistle. The goal kick for North. Stark's able to win it. Now Kibbe on the move. The ball sent out by Lauren Dowd for North. Back in play, sent down the near sideline, and that time Haley Girton gets tripped up. So give North the kick. It'll be taken by Rachel Labonte with under 12.5 minutes left on the clock. Dahlgren able to head it down, still in danger. Olivia Marshall able to swat at it, and now delivered through the football uprights and out of play. Some dangerous moments there, but Milford able to withstand the attack. Dahlgren now ahead to Maggie Boyle. She can't control it. Kibbe gives chase, but the ball ends up out of play. Now Boyle again ahead to Franzini. Franzini trying to get around a defender. Now a host of North Attleboro defenders close in. And a hard collision at midfield. Sydney Morrison for Milford. And it looked like Mendonca for North Attleboro, but both players fortunately able to immediately get back to their feet. Franzini can't track that one down. It's guided out of play by North Attleboro. The goal kick with just over 10.5 minutes to play. A good job by Rachel LeBlanc, but North stays on the attack. Now here's Starks, and Starks sends it out of play. Milford didn't have the numbers upfield, so the wise move to send it out. Tossed into Girton, and Girton can't keep it in on the near sideline. Quickly tossed ahead. Still Milford ball. Boyle can't direct it downfield. Now the pass back to the middle of the field. And Milford now with a little bit of space. A nice job defensively by Erin Burren to close in for North Attleboro. North Attleboro dumps it deep down the field. Milford starting to run low on time as the clock ticks down to 9 minutes to play. The Lady Hawks in need to come away with points in each of these final 3 games. Again, needing 5 points to qualify for a playoff spot, which means they need at least a tie here this afternoon. Give you another chance to toss it in, trying to float it to Maggie Boyle. And a chance now for North Attleboro to toss. North content to play a defensive-minded game from here on with the 2-1 lead. Here's Boyle for Franzini. Franzini had Kibbe streaking past, tried to hit her with the pass, now gets it back. Milford sets up. The ball to the edge of the box, now drifts down towards the far corner. Juliana France trying to track it down. She's able to keep it on the field. The play now back down the far sideline. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Starks trying to lead that pass ahead, but it ends up drifting out of play. Quick substitution on the North Attleboro side before we continue. Gabby Riley also waiting to check back in for the Lady Hawks. Milford able to earn a late season bid into the playoffs last season with an overall record of 8-8-2. They ended up in 4th place in the Davenport standings before losing a preliminary round matchup to Silver Lake. Trying to pull off some similar late season magic here in these final 3 games, but with a little over 5 minutes left to go in this game, they need at least 1 goal here. They need a tie or a win in this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Starks trying to win it right at midfield. Milford trying to hit Franzini, but she was guarded well. Now Boyle. Boyle sliding out to make the play, ended up tripping up Haley Farron. Labonte again on the kick deep in the box, and again briefly in and out of the hands of Marshall before she recovers. Ball not easy to handle in these cold conditions. LeBlanc with a little bit of space shoots the pass ahead to Maggie Boyle. Tried to time the pass to hit Franzini in stride. Just 4 minutes to go. Milford needing to make something happen late. Franzini shoots it up the near sideline, but Labonte is there for North. Now back deep to the keeper. Milford trying to get down for a late surge. Milford awarded the kick. They quickly get into position. Sent deep by Dahlgren, up for grabs now. And Franzini took some hard contact right at the edge of the box as this ball now drifts out of play, and Franzini is slow to get up. And we will have another injury timeout situation. It looked like it may have been an elbow to the midsection of Kristen Franzini, but the training staff out. We will take the injury timeout with just 2 minutes and 38 seconds left on the game clock. It is 2-1 in favor of North Attleboro. Coverage of Milford High School girls soccer on Milford TV. We resume action now with just over 2.5 minutes to play, and right now, not a great scenario for Milford with their goal-scoring leader on the sideline after getting shaken up on that last play. Now it's North Attleboro quickly accelerating downfield. Ashley Starks doing a good job getting back. And now this ball, North Attleboro tries to head it in. It goes off. The crossbar deflects back out and now in for a crucial late goal scored by the Lady Rocketeers. And that will give North Attleboro a 3-1 lead with less than 2 minutes to play. And that's a tough one for Milford to take. We'll see if we can get word from Rob O'Keefe up top for the goal scorer. And once again, we get word it was Emma Gollin who was able to put that in. A flurry of activity in front of the net. The initial shot glancing off the crossbar, but deflecting down to Emma Gollin, and she was able to bury the shot to give North Attleboro a big 2-goal lead with just about a minute to go in this one. Milford now in full-blown desperation mode, somehow trying to come away with 2 goals in these closing seconds. But instead, North Attleboro plays it all the way down into the near corner before it kicks out of play. And a corner kick set up on the near side now. It looks like Leah Jett will take it. She sends it on the ground out to the edge of the box. Now the shot taken by Julia Tolfa through traffic. It deflects back out, but North Attleboro continues to control. Now this one loops in for the score. Grace McGoldrick, it looks like, was able to arc that one up over the reach of Olivia Marshall, and 2 goals within the final 2 minutes for North Attleboro. They open up a 4-1 lead. So certainly a difficult turn of events here in these final minutes, overshadowing what was a very tough competitive game. So this North Attleboro offense, which has had a tough time putting goals on the scoreboard here in Milford, as Leanne Kibbe gets a late chance, sends it wide to the left of the net. But North Attleboro finally able to do some damage against Milford here in these final minutes. And damage that will unfortunately bring an end to the playoff hopes for the Lady Scarlet Hawks in this 2016 fall season. The final seconds playing out now as this ball drifts out of play on the far sideline. Milford quickly tosses it back in, but it's intercepted by North Attleboro, and there is the final whistle. The Lady Rocketeers streaking out onto the field. They get a pair of late goals in the second half and turn what was a close game for about 77.5 minutes into a lopsided finish, a 4-1 final score. North Attleboro able to defeat Milford. And again, Milford needing to come away with no less than a tie in the game here this afternoon to keep their playoff hopes alive. So unfortunately now we'll be on the outside looking in of the MIAA tournament this fall, despite a strong showing here in the second half, but still 2 games left to go for Milford, and you can see the emotions now starting to show through on the sideline for Milford. A tough finish to this one today. They fought hard, and especially you can see the emotion from some of the seniors on this squad. But again, 2 games left to round out this 2016 season, and 1 more game here at home. That will come again on Halloween against non-conference Holliston. But that will wrap up our coverage here today. Again, thank you to Rob O'Keefe, our executive director, for manning the camera up above the press box. And I am Tim Coet. Your final score, one final time this afternoon. North Attleboro is able to come to Milford and walk away with a 4-1 victory. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.